Hey everyone, here we are at Petals and
Poses.
So let's go.
Hey everyone, my name's Melissa and I own Petals Posies Flower Company here in Grande Prairie, Alberta.
And today we're going to be putting together an arrangement.
A beautiful arrangement.
Yes.
So I'm going to get you started on the process of our process.
Perfect.
Now, I understand that certain florists do things differently, and I don't think there's a rhyme or a reason to it. It's just whatever works and gets the job done. So we've got our vessel. I've picked some greenery for you. We've picked eucalyptus. This is the baby blue eucalyptus. This is bar none the most requested greenery that we have. We also have some silver dollar euc, and then I've got some acacia knife blade, which is cool and very sharp, hence why it's called knife blade. We also have some peonies, a protea, carnations, chrysanthemums, spray roses, some sprays, some roses, and some daisies. So that's what we're working with today. Right. The first thing we do when we start an arrangement is we always green in first. That's what we call it. So we take our greenery, we clean off the bottom of the stems. It's a messy job. I don't know, maybe I'll just put that on the floor. We always snip our stems too and start putting them in.
Okay.
So did you want to give it a shot?
Sure, yes,
okay.
Yeah.
So just grab one, Bridget,
okay.
and then clean off the bottom of the stem. Okay. One of the things when you're working with florals, you always want to keep in mind your proportions. Because this vessel is taller, you don't want to keep your greenery too short, so you want to kind of have it a decent height for this vessel.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I will do this. You made that look so easy.
Was in fact my hands are very stained. It's been a busy day. So then I just use the snips. I always cut on a 45-degree angle because you want to give the stem the most surface to drink water, right?
Ah, my mom always says to do that, but I never knew why.
They're very thirsty. So yes, so we could just keep adding some pieces in there. You can help too. We could do this as a group effort. Team. Basically what we're doing when we're greening in is we're creating a grid and the shape of the arrangement. Awesome. Here at Petals Posies Flower Company, we do very kind of unique, flowy garden style. That's kind of what we've become known for.
How did Petals Posies come to be?
Well, fun story, Bridget. Petals Posies wasn't meant to be a flower store. It was meant to be for my event planning company, which I still own. It's Pierre and Co Events. And we were mid-renovation, creating an event planning office and rental space. And COVID hit. And so we had to pivot, and I started selling flowers on Facebook, and we started selling out every week. My son and I would drive around Grande Prairie, Nicky 9 during dropping off these flowers because we were all in isolation. And that's how Petals was born. We pivoted. If you come into the store, our cooler's in the back because it was a last minute addition. That's why it's not out front. But we always have some beautiful bouquets on our grab and go table, which is right in the center of the space.
Wow.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you. Sorry, I don't think I did this one.
No, that's okay. You can't really mess up greening in. You just want to make sure you fill it in enough.
You haven't met me yet.
You know, one of my favorite things about doing floral arrangings and doing workshops specifically is that you get to see everyone's creativity, and everyone is so unique. Like you could give someone, all the 6 people, the same florals, and everyone will be so unique and just a representation of them, right?
That's so cool.
Yeah, so you can see it's kind of shaping itself now, right? When I am done with my greenery, I like to put in my filler flowers, so like the mums. And I like to clean off all the extra stems. The reason that we clean off the stems is because these are going to suck up water, and then the flowers are not going to get it. So you want to kind of take off what's not really needed. And again, we're just going to kind of measure where we want to have it cut. I kind of just put it, well, at this point I'm really good at it, so I just know what to do. But when I was starting, I would measure and then cut. You know how they say measure twice and cut once?
Yes, yeah.
It's kind of what you do. So why don't you try that?
And we're aiming for,
and that's okay. Sometimes that happens. The stem breaks. We never waste anything in a flower store. That's perfect. That's where it was meant to be. The other thing, we look for stems that have lost their blooms. We definitely want to take them off as well. And then, I'll let you do that.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay,
I'm
thanks.
just used to taking control.
Should it be taller than this one was?
I prefer to texture and layer
Okay,
my
gotcha.
bouquets. So
That makes
typically
sense.
I like to have it flowing,
All over
you
the
know, all the
place.
way down.
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
don't put them at the same height.
Understandably so.
Mm-hmm.
So Petals and Posies kind of started as an accident, a happy
A
accident, as
total happy accident.
Bob Ross would say.
Yes.
The name, where was the inspiration for that?
To be honest with you, it just came to me one day.
Yeah.
I was just trying to think of something whimsical, something feminine, something that would be classic and would last the time and not kind of be trendy, right?
Yeah.
And I just figure that if I wanted to build the brand, this was a really flowy name, really sweet name.
Oh, 100%. That's exactly what Rochelle said before we came in.
Oh,
She was like, this
excellent.
name is so fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
and like if you look at our logo, it's very feminine and
Yes.
just really pretty.
Good. So
Mhm.
2020 to now 2025.
Yes.
Right.
So
How has the
this-
5 years been?
This summer is going to be our 5th year anniversary, which is
Ah.
super exciting. As you know, a lot of small businesses close within the first 5 years. So we're super pumped. We made it. Our brand is growing tremendously over the last year, but it wasn't easy. It was actually really, really hard. I had a misconception that I was going to start this business and they would just come. And that is not what happened at all. It took a long time for me to build our brand, to create that community, and to get people to come in. Okay, so now that we have this, we can put in our little spray roses. These are so pretty. I absolutely
Those are
love
very
spray
pretty.
roses. So you have one quite tall, one a little shorter. So I would kind of pivot it and kind
Somewhere
of
in the
put it in
middle.
the middle so we're getting
It's
that
kind of that
flow.
same
Yeah,
height.
for sure. So give that
Just
a
a
show
little
or cut, I mean.
45-degree, something like that,
Yeah.
perhaps. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's clear. We're good. We are good.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
Yep. So the other thing too, when you're making these arrangements, you don't need to necessarily keep them on the outside of the vase. Like you kind of sneak it in there,
Oh,
right?
okay. Gotcha. Yes.
So that it kind of flows and hides a little bit.
Yes. Make it look so easy, but I guess you have.
You know what? I
many of the
honestly
years of
thought it was
experience.
so easy. And I'm like, I don't get it. Why don't people get it? And then I started hosting workshops and I was like, okay, it is a skill. I have earned this skill. 5 years of doing this. I did do weddings. I did do florals for some wedding clients before I had Petals and Posies. So I did take a floral design course.
Gotcha.
So I had a little bit of experience when I did start it, but it wasn't much. It was just helping my wedding clients. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite flower to, I guess, have as like your own or also like work with?
My favorite flower is actually probably the proteas. I love these. I love them because they're just super unique. They have a tough outer shell, outer petals, and then the inside is soft and fuzzy.
Oh my goodness, that's so cute.
Yeah, so they come in different colors. It's the national flower of Africa, South Africa,
Wow.
Africa, one of the others. And it's just really cool. It comes in tons of different colors. There's a king protea, and the head of that thing is massive.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and they're white, and they have lots of different varieties too, which is really cool. The number one requested flower of all time is the peony. Ladies like these. They unfortunately have a really, really short season. We can get them in May, and it goes to about beginning of July, and then they're gone for the year. So they are a little more pricey at the beginning, and then they kind of get more affordable at the end. But it is the be-all, end-all for the ladies. The ladies like that. And ranunculus too. Ladies like ranunculus too. And they're very pretty, so I can understand why. Okay,
That's good.
so let's just keep adding
Oh,
a few
yes,
things.
yeah. Let's add some stuff.
So these are the toffee roses. These became super popular probably a few years ago. The interesting thing is if you had told me 5 years ago that brown roses would be the rage, I would have probably called you a liar. But they are. People love this dusty, soft palette. and it's very popular, but it's very eye pleasing. It's, you know,
It's kind of taller
nice
than
and
I
neutral,
wanted,
right?
but
That's
okay.
okay.
Well,
Just
this one's
keep
cut
going.
already. Perfect. Just gonna stick them.
So once you get all your bouquets in, one of the things I like to do is I always like to turn it to make sure. And you have to think about whether or not you're making your bouquet 360 or if you're putting it up against the wall where you'd only need 180, right?
Yes.
We're going to make this 360. I'm just going to kind of cut a few.
Please do, yeah. I was definitely making it 180.
The other thing we need to do is figure out where our focal flowers are going to go.
Okay.
One of the things I always say is you always want to give each stem its moment. So we don't want to hide it. We want it to be out in the clear.
Wow.
So this one we're probably not going to cut very much, but I would probably slip it here so that you can see it from every angle. So maybe just trim the end a little bit and then we'll pop it in.
Nope. These flowers are so much, I think, sturdier than I think that they are.
I think so too, and that's it. They are flowers. They do break. We do get a lot of breakage. One of the ones that drives us crazy is actually carnations. These snap so easy and bend so easy.
That's what I think I broke. Or no, maybe that was a rose. I can't remember, but I broke one of them by accident.
That's okay. It's all good.
It happens.
So then what you do is you're just going to fill in your spots. So this has a little bit of a gap here. So we're just going to kind of start layering it. Do you see the difference?
Yes.
Yeah. And it's coming together. It's really pretty. What do you think?
Oh, it looks beautiful.
Awesome.
Look at that. Look at our
Coming
hard work.
together.
Coming together.
So I also like to add a little bit of contrast because we have a very similar palette. Adding a little bit of cream will pop, right?
Yep.
So do you want to add one of those?
Perfect.
Just wherever you see fit.
Probably just there, I think. Do I have to cut this?
Yes,
Yeah.
I would cut it.
Okay. So a lot of work going into this for you, I guess, as the owner and also running it and also creating arrangements and everything. What would you say is the most challenging aspect of everything that you are balancing?
I think the most challenging was honestly, like I said before, the naivety of me and thinking that this was going to be easy and that I just thought people were going to come. And it took such a long time. It was really about marketing, figuring out your branding, and really building the business to be what we wanted to be. I focus a lot on community. We do a ton of great things for Grande Prairie because it's the people of Grande Prairie that are primarily supporting us. So, for example, one of the things we do is we do Mental Health Mondays. I started this years ago for Mental Health Month, where we were giving one of our feel-good bouquets away on the Monday, and you just had to nominate someone who's down on their luck, having a bad day, whatever. So the first 4 weeks that we did that, I saw how many people were reacting to this and nominating people, and it really opened my eyes because it was not about winning, it was about being seen, right? You see that I'm having a hard time. You see that, you know, something terrible happened to me, and it really touched my heart. And so we've been doing it ever since. So every Monday, nominate someone who lives in Grande Prairie and they can get potentially a feel good. I can't read the messages anymore though. I used to, because every time I read them, I end up giving everyone bouquets because I'm like, oh my God. So I make some other people on my team pick the winners.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, we tried. I think that was one of the things that was really important to me. I realized quickly that we had a bit of a platform, and I have children. I have daughters and a son, and I wanted them to see us making a difference and being kind to everyone and doing what we can to give back. And I'm really proud of Petals and Posies, and I'm really proud of my team because we all invoke that spirit and we all carry that with us. And every day we get an opportunity to make a difference. And I love that. I love that for us.
I love that for you all too. And the passion that you speak about it with is so inspiring. Because I think, you know, when you take something that you love, I guess it's a bit of a different situation because this kind of fell into you. So it's like, I don't know if you believe in fate, but it's like fate that
I love
you were brought the opportunity.
Business. And I honestly believe in that. I believe the universe gives us what we need. And I believe I needed this for myself, for my soul, for my peace, for my joy, but also for me, like I said, to have the opportunity to brighten others people's day. I had a lady come up to me the other day and she was like, "You're the flower lady." And I said, "Yeah." And she's like, "I came into your store. I was having such a bad day and you gave me flowers." And
Aw.
she's like, "And that was the last time I ever got flowers."
But I think that's part of the reason folks come in here, you know, because you can hypothetically buy flowers anywhere. You can do it at a grocery store. You can, you know, like you can buy flowers, but you can't buy someone genuinely wanting you to have a good day.
Absolutely.
buy the
100%. And I
beautiful-
think that's why the community has been so receptive to us, is because I hate the word authentic because I feel it's overused, but I feel like we are authentic. We are genuine. We actually care. We actually want to make you laugh. I always say we want to have people laughing or smiling when they're walking out the door. And my team is really silly and we sing and we dance, and if you come in here, you'll hear us singing all the time. And you know what I mean? We just like to have that positive energy.
to brighten someone's day,
Yes,
for sure.
100%.
That impact and that connection and that relationship you're able to form with people, would you say that's the most rewarding part? Of
100%,
this?
hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down. It's incredible the things that we've been a part of. And I always say, you trust us with your joys and the good things happen, your celebrations, your birthdays, but we also have the darker side of sympathy and loss and tragedy and injury. So we feel grateful to be a part of it all. And we know we don't take that for granted. We know that that comes with responsibility and care and tenderness, and we want to make it a little bit easier, right? And look at it. Isn't it stunning? Don't you love it?
is. Look at that. Look at what we did.
So good.
Bridget did an amazing job.
And Melissa, mostly Melissa.
Excellent.
Cool. And then I'm going to ask you one last question.
Sure.
Not specific to the flowers or the business or anything like that, but what would you say is the best piece of advice you've received throughout your life?
I think the best piece of advice that I'm living is to live a grateful life. I had an epiphany a few years ago. I realized I wasn't as happy, hence why I started this whole thing. And I had to go deep down and realize that I was focusing on a lot of negative things. I was not focusing on the things that were good in my life. And once I changed my perspective, it changed my life. I have never been happier than I am now. And sure, things happen to me. I have bad days and everything like that. But it's something crazy when you let things go, you know? So my best piece of advice is to live a grateful life. I know that's not what someone told me, but that's my advice for you.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for working this beautiful bouquet with me.
It was my pleasure.
And also for chatting and all your fun stories.
Oh, yeah,
It's awesome.
sorry. I hope I didn't bore
No,
you.
do not apologize. It was awesome. Thank
Perfect.
you. Hey everyone, here we are at Petals and Posies and we are speaking with Amy. We can just start with you telling us a bit about yourself.
So I was born and raised in Grande Prairie. All my family's from here, both sides, my mama and my dad's family. I've known Melissa for quite a few years before she hired me on here. I actually just started helping her last Valentine's Day, just answering phones, but then I just haven't left yet.
Aw, having too much fun?
Yeah, it is. It's really fun. I really love it. Because I used to do paint classes, stuff like that. Yeah, I've always been creative and artsy, and I just love it. So I get to create all these beautiful arrangements.
They're so stunning. Which are your favorite flowers to work with, or I guess put in a bouquet?
I love flowers that are like really tall. So like your, I can't even think of it right now. I'm on the spot. Even lilies when they're not open, I love using them because I love texture. Dendrobium orchids, delphiniums, they're like can be really tall. Gladiolas can be super tall. I just
I love
love
gladiolas.
spraying I love it. I love the big tall flowers. They're my favorite.
Are there flowers that work best to like last long time, to last a long time in bouquets?
Yeah, so there's, we have, of course, carnations. A lot of people don't like carnations, but they do come in so many beautiful colors. They are actually one of my favorites now because there's always going to be one that will match any bouquet. For me, I'm not used to doing, like just a pink bouquet. I like to mix a bunch of different colors, and I think that's the painter in me or whatever. But those orchids are really good. They're long lasting. Sometimes Gerber daisies, I guess, but I would definitely say the orchids for sure. Alstromeriums as well.
Originally, you started as a painter. How do you think those skills have translated into now designing flowers?
I guess I'd like more of an abstract side of it where I can just kind of do what I want and play it. I love when customers are like, oh, just make it your own. I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. I love it. But I think that, and also mixing palette colors and stuff like that as well, for sure.
What do you think has been the most helpful skill that you've either acquired or developed over your time here?
My biggest skill, I don't know. I think because I was really scared to make the large arrangements and different funeral arrangements because obviously they mean so much to people, but they're my favorite now. I love doing the big ones, hundreds of dollar ones. Yeah.
Because they have the different
everything.
Yeah.
They're very textured. A lot of people nowadays aren't going just with, your white lilies or your white carnations and stuff for funerals. They're like, nope, they were a cheerful, happy person. So we're just gonna, you do you. Yeah. Yeah. And we've gotten compliments from the funeral homes and stuff too. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you're doing really well.
I am. Yeah.
Pat on the back for you.
Yeah.
And then last question, it doesn't have to be specific to the store or anything, but what would you say is the best piece of advice you've received throughout your life?
I would say always be yourself, really. If I give advice to people, I always tell them to have ugly face bathtub cries because nobody can hear you and it's like, recharge. So I guess that too, but I made that one up, so yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Well, you're welcome.
Okay, hi, I'm Taya. I work at Petals Posies here in Grande Prairie. I moved here 15 years ago, I think, and yeah.
What brought you to Grande Prairie?
My family moved here.
Nice.
Yeah.
And do you enjoy it?
Actually, I really like it. It's my home pretty much now, so yeah.
And if folks were wanting to place an order, where would they go to do something like that?
So we do walk-in orders, we do online orders, we do call-in orders, we do Facebook orders, Instagram orders. Like people just message, like email throughout like everything. We do lots of orders.
Perfect. So really accessible no matter where people are coming
Definitely.
from.
People will just call Melissa and be like, hey, can you make this for me? And she's like, okay, cool. Or people will text us too, like customers that we've texted photos to and stuff before will text us and be like, hey, can you make me another arrangement? And we're like, okay, cool.
Nice. And then last question, what is the best piece of advice you've received throughout your life?
I don't know if this is the best piece of advice, but like when we're like super slammed and stressed out, like there's a million orders, everything's kind of chaotic. We have an event. We literally just did an event 2 days ago that was planned in 2 days. We're there till like 10:30 at night. Then also on top of that, doing mother stuff, Melissa will always be like, there ain't nothing to it, get to it.
Just ingrained in your brain now.
Yeah, so now like when we get stressed out or there's just like chaos and everything's going on, I'm like, you know what, let's just do it. Let's get it done. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Here's your rundown for Petals and Posies. Super beautiful store, first of all. So many fun gifts. I'm so sad I overbooked us so much because we didn't have time to shop.
It smelled amazing in there. Everyone was like, oh my goodness, I'm so shy. And then did amazing in the interviews.
Whipped out such great interviews. I was like, okay, queens, pop off.
They were so kind, so welcoming. You could definitely tell that like a community was a big thing in their space, which we love to see, especially going to these like little
smaller towns.
Yeah, smaller towns. It's nice to see how strong the community is, and just like even like during COVID, how they would go and hand out the bouquets, or like they didn't say this on camera, but when there's a train and people are like waiting and annoyed, they'll go and hand out like roses to people while they're like waiting for the train, which I think is just so sweet. It just kind of shows a lot about their character and the people that they are, like in their heart. So
100%. They are such sweet human beings, so kind, so great to talk to. Like I can see why people go in so often, and they have like little DMs. I think Melissa was talking about it when she built the bouquet with me. Such a pretty bouquet, by the way. Like, wow, we really did that. Mostly her, but I was there too. But just like such creative and cool ideas of way to make flowers more accessible for people, because I think there's often a connotation of like flowers being really expensive, because like obviously they're expensive. They're, you know, flowers, you have to like grow them and do all the work, but I think they do a really great job of, you know, creating different opportunities and options for people. So yeah,
Check it out.
check it out.